All right, let's unpack this today.
Okay.
We're going deep into distillery milling
Awesome.
and helping you nail that interview.
Sounds good.
We've got a stack of resources from RoleCatcher.
Great.
They cover everything from common interview questions
Oh, yeah.
to career insights and even how AI can give you an edge.
Interesting.
Have you ever thought about what goes into making your favorite whiskey or gin?
Wow.
Well, it all starts with a distillery miller.
Yeah, these folks are the unsung heroes.
Right.
They're ensuring the quality and consistency of the grains used in the whole process.
That's right. And it's a niche industry, but with a surprising amount of opportunity,
True.
especially with the craft spirits boom.
Especially with the craft spirits boom.
And don't worry, you don't need a PhD in fermentation to get started.
Nope.
So what exactly does a distillery miller do?
Well, think beyond just grinding grain.
Okay.
They're operating cleaning machines,
Uh-huh.
maintaining equipment,
Oh.
pumps, shoots, the works, and basically ensuring that the whole process runs smoothly.
So it's a very hands-on role,
Yeah, very hands-on.
often in a fast-paced environment,
Right.
and let's be honest, kind of noisy and dusty environment.
It can be.
But hey, that's where the magic happens.
That's where the magic happens.
And in that environment, you're working closely with a whole team,
You are.
from distillery operators to quality control folks.
Yeah, so communication skills are key.
Very important.
Yeah.
So how do we convey all of that awesomeness to a potential employer?
Okay.
Well, let's talk about those interview questions.
All right.
RoleCatcher has provided a list of 10 common questions specifically for distillery miller roles.
Great.
And lucky for us,
Yeah.
they've also got some killer insights on how to approach them.
Perfect.
So let's jump right in with a question that might seem simple,
Okay.
but it's actually a golden opportunity.
All right.
The question is, what motivated you to pursue a career in distillery milling?
Okay, so this isn't just about stating the obvious, like your love for a good bourbon.
Of course not.
It's about showing a genuine interest in the industry,
Uh-huh.
perhaps a personal connection to a specific spirit,
Yeah.
or even a story that highlights your fascination with the distilling process.
So think about what sparked your interest
Right.
and weave a narrative that showcases your passion.
Absolutely.
So it's about painting a picture,
Yes.
sharing an anecdote that reveals why this isn't just a job for you, but a calling.
Exactly. It's about showcasing your enthusiasm in a way that goes beyond a generic, I love whiskey.
That's right.
Now, here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
What experience do you have with milling equipment?
All right. Time to roll up our sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty.
Exactly. Don't just say, I've worked with mills before.
Right.
Be specific.
Okay.
Mention the types of milling equipment you've operated,
Uh-huh.
any relevant certifications you hold,
Right.
and highlight your understanding of the latest technology in the field.
So for instance, if you've worked with a hammer mill,
Right.
you could talk about its function,
Uh-huh.
your experience with maintenance,
Okay.
and even any challenges you've overcome.
Challenges are good.
Yeah.
They show you can problem solve.
The more detail you provide, the more you demonstrate your expertise.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about listing equipment.
Nope.
It's about showing a deep understanding of its operation,
Yes.
its nuances,
Yeah.
and your ability to troubleshoot effectively.
Exactly. You want to paint a picture of yourself as someone who can handle the complexities of these machines.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk about a question that's crucial in any food or beverage production role.
Okay.
How do you ensure the quality of the milled grain meets the distillery standards?
Quality control. This feels like a big one.
It is, because at the end of the day,
Right.
the quality of the milled grain directly impacts the final product.
Absolutely.
This is where you demonstrate your meticulous attention to detail and your understanding of the importance of consistency.
So what kind of things should we be highlighting here?
We'll talk about your experience with sampling techniques,
Okay.
your knowledge of grain types and their properties, and your ability to identify and troubleshoot potential quality issues.
Okay, so maybe give me an example of what that might look like.
Sure. You could mention a time when you noticed a discrepancy in the grain size
Okay.
and took steps to correct it, ensuring the final product met the distillery standards.
So it's not just about following a checklist.
Right.
It's about understanding the impact of your actions on the entire production process
Exactly.
and demonstrating your proactive approach to quality control.
Absolutely. You want to show that you're not just a cog in the machine,
Right.
but someone who understands the bigger picture.
That's a good point.
Now, here's a question that gets to the heart of keeping things running smoothly.
Okay.
How do you ensure that the milling equipment is properly maintained?
All right, maintenance. This feels like a question where we can showcase our proactive problem-solving skill.
Absolutely. It's all about preventative maintenance, troubleshooting,
Mm.
and attention to detail. Talk about your experience with creating and implementing maintenance schedules.
Okay.
Your ability to identify potential issues before they become major problems.
Yeah.
And your meticulous record-keeping skills.
Very important.
Remember, a well-maintained mill is a safe mill.
Yes, safety first.
And safety is paramount in any industrial environment.
Speaking of safety, the next question on RoleCatcher's list is, how do you ensure that the milling process is safe for everyone involved?
Okay.
This feels like a great opportunity to showcase our knowledge of safety protocols and our commitment to creating a safe work environment.
It is. Think about the specific safety regulations and procedures you're familiar with.
Right.
And highlight your experience with implementing and enforcing them.
Okay, so give me an example of what that might look like.
Sure. You could mention your experience with lockout, tagout procedures.
Okay.
Your knowledge of personal protective equipment requirements.
Right.
Or your ability to identify and address potential hazards in the milling area.
So it's about showcasing our safety knowledge,
Yes.
but also demonstrating our leadership in promoting a culture of safety within the team.
Exactly. You want to convey that you're not just concerned with your own safety,
Of course.
but with the well-being of everyone involved in the milling process.
Absolutely.
Now, here's a question that often throws people off.
Okay.
But it's a fantastic opportunity to showcase your understanding of the business side of distilling.
Right.
How do you ensure that the milling process is efficient and cost-effective?
This is where we show that we're not just focused on the technical aspects, but also on the bottom line, right?
Precisely. Distilleries are businesses,
Yes.
and they need their millers to be mindful of efficiency and costs.
Absolutely.
This is your chance to talk about your experience with process optimization,
Right.
your ability to identify and eliminate waste,
Uh-huh.
and your understanding of factors that influence production costs.
So have you ever streamlined a process,
Right.
reduced waste, or found a more cost-effective way to do things?
Those are all great things to share.
Yeah.
Share those stories.
So it's about thinking outside the grain silo and showing that we're not just focused on getting the job done,
Exactly.
but doing it in a way that's both efficient and cost-effective for the distillery.
Precisely. And that kind of forward thinking will definitely impress a potential employer.
That's great advice.
Now let's move on to a question that really gets to the heart of your leadership skills.
Okay.
How do you manage your team when there's a lot of pressure to meet deadlines?
Ah, the dreaded deadline pressure.
Yeah,
It's inevitable in any production environment.
it is.
But how do we show we can handle the heat?
This is about demonstrating your ability to stay calm, organized, and focused under pressure.
Right.
Highlight your experience with delegating tasks effectively,
Yeah.
prioritizing workloads, and maintaining clear communication with your team,
Right.
even when things get hectic.
And it's also about keeping morale high, right?
Yeah, so absolutely.
Motivating the team to push through those tough deadlines without compromising quality or safety.
A good leader knows how to inspire and motivate their team, even under pressure.
Absolutely. Now, here's a question that builds on that leadership theme.
Okay.
How do you ensure that your team is motivated and engaged in their work?
All right, so it's not just about barking orders.
Of course not.
It's about creating a positive and productive work environment where everyone feels valued and motivated.
Right. So share your approach to team building,
Exactly.
your commitment to open communication, and your ability to recognize and reward individual contributions.
Yes. Think about your leadership style.
Okay.
Are you collaborative,
Yeah.
hands-on, or maybe a blend of both?
This feels like a good place to talk about our personal approach to leadership
Yeah.
and how we foster a sense of teamwork and shared responsibility.
Precisely. You want to show that you understand the importance of building a strong team dynamic, especially in a fast-paced environment like a distillery.
Absolutely. Now let's tackle a question that's all about staying ahead of the curve.
Okay.
How do you stay up to date with the latest trends and developments in the distillery milling industry?
This is where we get to show our passion for the craft
Right.
and our dedication to continuous learning.
Exactly. This is a golden opportunity to showcase your involvement in industry organizations, your habit of reading trade publications,
Okay.
and your willingness to attend conferences and workshops.
All right.
Have you taken any online courses or participated in research projects related to milling?
Those are all great examples.
Yeah.
Share those experiences.
So it's about demonstrating that we're not just content with the status quo,
Right.
but actively seeking out new knowledge and ways to improve the milling
Yeah,
process.
exactly.
And finally, a question that's becoming increasingly important in all industries.
Okay.
How do you ensure that the distillery milling process is environmentally sustainable?
Sustainability is top of mind for many companies these days.
It is.
So it's great to be prepared to address this in an interview.
Absolutely. This is your chance to shine a light on your understanding of sustainable practices within the milling process. Talk about your experience with reducing water and energy consumption,
Okay.
minimizing waste generation,
Uh-huh.
and exploring alternative grain sourcing options.
Great.
Have you implemented any sustainability initiative?
Yeah.
Or improved a process to make it more eco-friendly?
Those are perfect examples. Share those stories.
So this feels like a great opportunity to showcase our commitment to not just producing high-quality grain,
Right.
but doing it in a way that's responsible and sustainable for the long term.
Exactly. You want to show that you're thinking about the big picture.
Yes.
And that you're committed to making a positive impact on the environment.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have.
and you might be thinking, how am I going to remember all of this?
It's a lot.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI tools come in.
Oh, yeah.
To help you not just prepare for these questions, but actually craft compelling answers that showcase your unique skills and experiences.
That's right.
Wait, AI can help me ace my interview.
It can.
Tell me more.
Think of it as your personal interview coach.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your responses to these questions, providing feedback on things like your tone,
Okay.
clarity, and even the content of your answers.
Wow.
It can help you identify areas where you can strengthen your responses, making them more impactful and memorable for the interviewer.
So it's like having a secret weapon to help me fine-tune my answers and present myself in the best possible light.
Precisely. And the best part is
Yeah.
it's tailored specifically to the role of a distillery miller.
Oh, wow.
RoleCatcher's AI has been trained on a vast amount of data related to this specific job.
That's great.
So it can provide insights and feedback that are incredibly relevant and helpful.
This is amazing. It feels like having a personalized cheat sheet for acing that interview.
Yeah, it can really give you an edge.
But what about beyond the interview?
Okay.
Where can this job actually take me in the long run?
That's a great question, and that's something we're going to dive into in part 2.
Okay.
Exploring the career path for distillery millers and how RoleCatcher can help you navigate that journey.
All right. Sounds good.
So stick around, folks. There's much more to uncover in the world of distillery milling.
That's right. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Sounds good. Welcome back. We just scratched the surface of how RoleCatcher can help you craft winning interview answers.
Right.
Let's dive deeper into the AI magic.
I'm all ears. This AI stuff sounds seriously game-changing.
It is.
That's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly. Imagine recording yourself answering those interview questions we discussed.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your responses, providing feedback on your tone, clarity,
Gotcha.
and even the content.
Wow.
It can pick up on things you might not notice, like speaking too fast or using filler words.
Oh, interesting.
It even analyzes your body language if you have video enabled.
Okay, that's wild.
Yeah.
So it's not just about what you say, but how you say it.
Precisely. It's about making sure your passion and expertise shine through.
That's a good point.
And the feedback is tailored to the specific role.
Oh, okay.
So if you're applying to a craft distillery versus a larger operation,
Right.
the AI will adjust its recommendations accordingly.
So it's like having a personal brand consultant for your interview.
Right.
Sign me up.
It's about putting your best foot forward and making a lasting impression.
Okay.
And here's another cool thing.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher has a vast library of sample answers for common interview questions.
Well, that's helpful.
You can use these as a starting point.
Okay.
Then tailor them to your own experiences using the AI feedback.
So it's not about memorizing generic answers.
No.
It's about crafting responses that are authentic.
Yes.
And reflect your unique skills.
Exactly. It's about using those sample answers as inspiration. Then adding your own personal flair and experiences.
Gotcha.
This way, you're not just reciting a script.
Right.
They're having a genuine conversation with the interviewer.
That makes sense.
Oh.
Okay, I'm sold on the AI stuff.
Yeah.
But let's shift gears and talk about the bigger picture.
Right.
Where can this job actually take me? What's the career trajectory for a distillery miller?
That's a fantastic question, and one that RoleCatcher's Career Guide addresses beautifully.
Okay.
They've outlined several stages of career growth,
Uh-huh.
starting from entry-level positions
Right.
all the way up to senior management roles.
Okay, so there's room to climb that distillery ladder.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's a field that rewards dedication,
Uh-huh.
continuous learning,
Okay.
and a genuine passion for the craft.
So you might start by assisting with basic tasks,
You might.
like weighing grains, operating cleaning machines,
Right.
or even helping with mill maintenance.
Yeah, those are all common starting points.
So kind of like an apprenticeship, learning the ropes from the ground up.
Exactly. And as you gain experience and knowledge,
Uh-huh.
you'll gradually take on more responsibility.
Okay.
Perhaps operating the mills independently,
Right.
troubleshooting issues,
Uh-huh.
and even supervising a team of junior millers
Wow.
with additional training or education.
Okay.
You could even move into roles in distillery operations,
Wow.
quality control,
Uh-huh.
or even product development.
So there are many paths you can take within the distillery.
There are.
That's really exciting.
It is, and RoleCatcher's Career Guide provides valuable insights into those different paths.
That's great.
Highlighting the skills and experience you'll need to progress.
Okay.
They even have resources to help you identify relevant certifications and training programs.
So it's not just about getting the job, it's about having a plan for your future within the distillery.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher can be your guide every step of the way,
Awesome.
helping you craft winning interview answers. Navigate your career path.
Okay.
And ultimately unlock your full potential in the fascinating world of distillery milling.
This has been incredibly insightful.
I'm glad to hear that.
We've gone from understanding the role of a distillery miller to mastering those tricky interview questions.
Right.
And now we're even exploring career advancement opportunities.
It's a lot to cover.
I'm feeling so much more prepared and excited about this career path.
That's wonderful to hear. Remember, preparation is key.
Yes.
And RoleCatcher's resources, especially their AI tools,
Right.
are invaluable in helping you stand out from the crowd.
Speaking of standing out, I'm curious, what are some of the things that really make a candidate shine in this field?
Okay.
What are distilleries looking for beyond the basic qualifications?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It's all about showcasing those soft skills that go beyond the technical aspects, things like problem solving, communication, teamwork, and leadership.
So it's not enough to just know how to operate the equipment.
Right.
You also need to be able to work effectively with others, communicate clearly,
Yes.
and think on your feet when challenges arise.
Exactly. And these are skills that you can highlight throughout the interview process.
Okay.
Use those questions as opportunities to tell stories. Provide examples of how you've demonstrated those skills in the past.
All right.
And showcase your personality.
I love that it's about showcasing our human side,
It is.
our passion, our ability to collaborate and connect with others.
Precisely because at the end of the day, the distilling industry is all about people.
That's a great point.
It's about the farmers who grow the grain,
Right.
the millers who process it, the distillers who transform it, and the consumers who enjoy the final product. It's a community.
That's true.
And distilleries are looking for people who will not only contribute their skills and expertise, but also become a valuable part of that community.
This has been such a valuable deep dive into the world of distillery milling.
I'm glad you think so.
We've covered so much ground.
We have.
From understanding the role itself to mastering those interview questions.
Yes.
And even exploring career advancement opportunities.
Right.
But before we wrap things up, I want to touch on something we mentioned earlier, continuous learning.
It's so important in this field.
Absolutely. The world of distilling is constantly evolving.
It is.
With new techniques, technologies, and trends emerging all the time.
That's right.
How can someone stay ahead of the curve
Okay.
and continue to grow their knowledge and skills throughout their career?
That's a fantastic question, and it's something that RoleCatcher also emphasizes in their career guide.
Right.
They recommend several strategies for staying ahead of the game.
Okay.
One is to actively seek out industry publications, whether it's trade magazines, online forums, or even academic journals.
So it's about staying curious and informed about the latest developments in milling, distilling, and even related fields like agriculture and food science.
Exactly. You want to be a lifelong learner, always expanding your knowledge base.
That's great advice.
Another great way to stay ahead of the curve is to attend industry events.
Okay.
Like conferences workshops, and even distillery tours.
Those sound like fun ways to learn.
They are, and they're also fantastic opportunities to network with other professionals in the field, learn from experts, and even get exposed to new ideas and innovations.
Networking is so crucial in any industry.
It is.
But it seems especially important in a field like distilling.
I agree.
Where there's such a strong sense of community and collaboration.
You're absolutely right. Building those connections can open doors to new opportunities, whether it's a job offer, a mentorship, or even just a chance to learn from someone with more experience.
And I imagine those connections can also be valuable for staying informed about emerging trends and technologies.
Absolutely. It's like having a network of informants, keeping you in the loop on the latest and greatest in the distilling world.
I like that.
And speaking of technology, there's another fantastic resource for continuous learning that's becoming increasingly popular: online courses.
Oh, that's a great point. There are so many incredible online platforms.
There are.
Offering courses on everything from the science of distilling to the art of sensory analysis.
Exactly. And many of these courses are taught by leading experts in the field.
Right.
Giving you access to world-class knowledge from the comfort of your own home.
It's amazing how technology is making learning so accessible and convenient.
It is.
And I bet RoleCatcher has some recommendations for online courses specific to distillery milling.
You bet they do. Their career guide has a whole section dedicated to online learning resources.
Awesome.
Including links to reputable platforms and specific courses that can help you enhance your skills and knowledge.
This is so fantastic. It feels like we're equipping our listeners with a toolbox full of resources.
That's the goal.
To not only ace that interview, but also embark on a truly fulfilling and successful career in the world of distillery milling.
I couldn't agree more. We've covered so much valuable ground.
We have.
But there's one more piece of the puzzle that I think deserves its own dedicated deep dive. RoleCatcher's AI tools and how they can help you tailor your answers and receive feedback for specific job roles.
That sounds like the perfect way to wrap up this epic distillery milling adventure.
I think so too.
What do you say we take a quick break and come back for part 3?
Okay.
Where we'll really delve into the AI magic.
Sounds good.
And explore how it can take your interview game to the next level.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the final part of our distillery milling deep dive. We've covered the role-mastered interview questions and explored career paths.
We have.
And now let's really unpack how RoleCatcher's AI can take your interview prep to a whole new level.
Okay, so it's like having a personal interview coach and brand consultant all rolled into one.
Right.
Remember all those interview questions we talked about? RoleCatcher's AI analyzes your answers and gives you feedback on your tone, clarity, pacing, and even the content.
So it really is about more than just what you say.
It is.
It's how you say it too, right?
Exactly. You could have all the right answers.
Okay.
But if you're mumbling, rushing through them, or not conveying enthusiasm, you might not make the best impression.
That's true.
And the AI picks up on those subtle cues.
Oh, wow.
Things we often don't notice ourselves.
That's incredible. It's like having a second set of eyes.
Right.
Or ears in this case.
Right, exactly.
To help you fine-tune your delivery.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more impressive.
Okay.
The feedback is tailored to the specific job you're applying for.
That makes sense.
So let's say you're interviewing at a small craft distillery.
Okay.
That prides itself on traditional methods. The AI will adjust its recommendations.
Oh, wow.
Suggesting you highlight your appreciation for those techniques and your willingness to learn from experienced artisans.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, not at all.
The AI understands the nuances of different distillery environments.
It does.
And tailors its feedback accordingly.
Exactly like having a personal stylist for your interview.
Oh, I like it.
Making sure you present the best version of yourself for that specific role.
That's really cool.
And don't forget RoleCatcher's library of sample answers for common interview questions.
Yeah, that could be really helpful.
You can use those as a starting point.
Okay.
Then tailor them to your own experiences using the AI feedback.
So it's not about memorizing generic responses.
Yep.
It's about using those samples as inspiration.
Exactly.
And then injecting your own personality and experiences into them.
That's the key you want to come across as both knowledgeable and authentic.
Okay, and I think the AI can really help you strike that balance.
I think so too.
I'm blown away by the possibilities. It's like having a secret weapon to help you navigate those sometimes daunting interview waters.
I think that's a great way to put it.
So what final thoughts do you want to leave our listeners with as they prepare to embark on this exciting career path?
Well, I want to say that the distilling industry is growing, and with growth comes opportunity.
That's true.
So even if you don't land the first job you apply for, don't give up.
Right.
Keep learning, keep refining your skills.
Okay.
And keep using those AI tools to your advantage.
That's great advice.
You've got this.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of distillery milling. We've learned about the role.
Yes.
Mastered those interview questions.
Yeah.
Explored career paths.
It's been a great deep dive.
And even unlocked the secrets of AI-powered interview prep. I'm feeling inspired and ready to embark on this exciting career path.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear that. Remember, passion, dedication, and a willingness to learn will take you far in this industry.
Absolutely.
So go out there.
Yes.
Crush those interviews and start crafting your dream career in the world of distilling.
Cheers to that, and thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive. We'll see you next time for another fascinating topic.